this is actually Agrippa.
Help me.
Despite his frightening appearance, he's actually our best friend in this game. A lot of things are our best friend, but
You have my gratitude.
he's our best actual human friend.
Is Agrippa.
He's speaking to us with some kind of supernatural power.
Daniel?
Don't touch this
Like
light,
the
it'll damage you.
prophet thrown into the lion's den?
Let me take some laudanum.
Tell me, are you among the lions, Daniel?
I think
You
so.
want to stop
bit.
Alexander?
A little bit.
Oh my.
Take some more.
So Babylon shall fall, you say?
Okay, stop at the
You
stop at the biblical references.
Alexander is toothless without an awe. He has one.
Oh, yep, we gave him one.
That's not very promising, no. The sectum is basically impenetrable, but guess what?
Face?
It
We're
could be
gonna
reached
circle
by another, but Alexander broke his, my orb, a long time ago.
You see, remember how I found the orb? He brought it to
Tell
Alexander.
the truth, by all means. Seek out the pieces of the broken orb and mend the way. I believe he uses them for torture now. They practically leak madness, which is quite useful, I understand. There should be 6 of them.
We need
Look
6
around
pieces of the
fire
broken
and the transept. You should be able to find them there.
So we need to go to the choir and transept areas to find the 6 orb pieces. 3 in each.
I hate to bother you.
And he's giving us a side
but
quest, which will give us an
if you're
optional
really going after
ending.
Alexander, would you consider
It's actually the ending I'm gonna take.
taking him with you? I know it sounds ridiculous. I mean, look at it. But if you find anything concerning a man named Johann
Fire.
would you please bring it to him?
I think I've gotten him yet.
believe
I'm not
he is
sure.
working on a way to help him. A recipe for some sort of potion. A tonic to heal from this husk of mine.
Okay. So, yeah, Vire was working on an antidote for whatever the hell kind of state he's in. It's not an exact antidote, but it does something.
What level? Oh, that level. So many
And
Alexander things are breaking
clearly
down.
we've
Look
told
around.
him about
Maybe
broken
the
lever
other room.
upstairs.
There are machine parts hidden all over this place.
And that's
You'll
what
find
we're
a way
working
to
on
fix
right now,
it.
actually. No, we're not standing on top of this box here.
Me? I'm Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa.
This is actually the first place where it's
Quite
telling us.
important you.
Okay.
Alexander
Move that this
my
place.
soul was dead husk for years. Who knows how many? Hundreds, I presume.
Yep, I believe
Alexander
he died in like
is
the
quite
16th
impressive in
century.
many ways.
Well, he was supposed to have
But
died in
he
the
has
16th
grown in
century.
faith.
So he's been here that long. 300 years. So now we can go pull that lever, which we are going to need to do to access the other areas. Or those 2 levers, rather. So anyway, about that ending involving Agrippa, we will need to find 3 things while we're getting the 6 orb pieces for his little dealio. So I'm gonna note those as we get to them. So let's go to those levers. All these chains everywhere. Why does he have chains lying around? Okay, so now that's working. Okay, so now that's working. I got the full sanity. Not quite full health though. I'm trying to save some laudanum. I mean, past this point, we're really only dealing with brutes, and brutes will pretty much kill us in 1 hit anyway, if they're chasing us. So we shouldn't have to worry about our health with
You have
them.
gone too far. I
One
have
thing
to
that would
stop
really
you.
kill us is like
I
fall
can't
damage.
let you proceed any further. I'm sorry, my friend.
I'm not sure if he's actually doing anything here. I don't know why he says that. So anyway, that room we will get to later, when the boards come off.
How are things coming? You got the doors open? Good going. I knew you could do it.
So the first thing we'll need for Agrippa is actually in here, along with some flashbacks that I'm gonna go grab right now. It's not a pleasant one. Don't worry, no enemies. Okay, we lost some sanity. Okay, so we're gonna need this piece of meat. Pretty much the only thing in here that isn't rotten. See some bonus supplies in here. Don't stand in here. Well, I think you lose sanity. Flash back in here.
I know this. I've been here already. I know this taste. A taste of Damascus rose obfuscating the truth of the dim haze. They may sweep the traces from my memory, but my body remembers. I can't speak volumes, even though my mind remains silent. They will be back. They will be back.
Picture of a tinderbox, a cutscene, flashback rather. So these souls are being used for a very specific purpose. We're gonna get more details on it when we go to the choir, I believe. Light a torch. You know, yeah. You're going nuts here. Oh damn it! Stop losing them. That leads to the chancel. Actually, there's a little bonus area in here we should probably check out, because it becomes accessible once you find all the orb pieces. Inaccessible once you find all the orb pieces, rather. Coming in here at this point often gets you killed, but this room especially is the room where I find dying gets you where you were trying to go in the first place. So anyway, this room is actually pretty cool looking. So we just heard a grunt right there. I don't know if he's gonna try coming this way. Hope not. Let's just go ahead and run back this way. Stay around the corner for now. If he should try to break down this door. He won't. He has no reason to think we're in here. Let's see if we can give him some time to despawn, maybe. I don't know. Of course, the music's not going to stop until we go look. So, let's go do that. If we die, no, we might get lucky and it'll bring us to the cool area I was trying to tell you about. So yeah, this area is pretty kicking. But if you get stuck on that bridge, like an enemy sees you, like you're screwed. There's nowhere to hide. But yeah, directly down here, that leads to the inner sanctum. There's Steve right there. Yeah, let's go ahead and duck in here. Maybe he'll go away entirely, I'm not sure. I might just spend waste a lot of time in here though. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try something completely unorthodox here. I'm gonna Leroy straight into Steve and see if it gets me to that area I'm telling you about. Come on, Steve. Oh, flashback. We're safe in the middle of the flashback.
It's like Orpheus.
Oh wow, that is an easy way to get past him.
Are you?
Oh, and you can see the orb glowing back there. That's the inner
What do you
sanctum.
mean?
Never mind.
Yeah.
Your intuition
So
is
wow, if you
remarkable.
feel bold, go ahead and use the flashback to get past Steve.
It doesn't matter.
Give us a good chance to get a good look at him there too.
After all.
Talking over them. Oh, it's about to end. Close the door in here. Yeah, so anyway, after you collect the 6th orb piece, the bridge section I just walked over collapses. You can't get to this note. So let's look at it. All is lost. I must once again start over. Ever since I recovered the orb first found by Grippa, that's apparently who took it, when Agrippa says he lost his, I have depended on it for my research. The incident with Wilhelm may be most impetuous. Fearing a paucity of prisoners, I proceeded with the final ritual without proper foresight. The orb cracked and fell into 6 parts. I've tried everything, but have yet to mend the thing. Unless I can think of a way to piece it together, I will have to find another. There is still life in the pieces, and even if the orb isn't restored, I might be able to salvage some of its power for some other purpose. Centuries have passed in vain, and I begin to wonder if I will ever be able to see my love again. How much longer can I sustain my life? So yeah, that note tells us pretty much exactly what Alexander is doing here. Which is, he's using the orbs to try to get home. So he broke Agrippa's when he was trying to use the one Agrippa had. So then he needed another one, so he heard that we had one, and he lured us here under the pretense of trying to get rid of the shadow. He's really only trying to get home with it. So, if you listen closely to Daniel's account of the Algeria expedition, he mentioned a lot about Mithraic artifacts, which, these symbols actually closely resemble sort of Mithraic type things. Things of the era that Mithraism was kind of prominent. The permanent religion, Persian, originated in Persia. So anyway, and yeah, this little altar is a cool little thing. It's a bonus oil. So yeah, clearly the orbs have something to do with some kind of Mithraic cult, which is why you see a lot of association with them here. And like this isn't stuff you'll see in any other part of the castle, other than, well, you'll see it in the inner sanctum. The inner sanctum is presumably a chamber constructed by the same cult that would use these orbs. Spoilers, but yeah, that room actually closely resembles Alexander's inner sanctum. So, now that we've gotten to this area, Steve may well have despawned. I can't see him on the bridges. He may be just waiting for us in that entrance area. That'd be, of course. There should be a brute hiding in there. We don't need to go there now. We don't need to go there until we've got the 6 ore pieces. So yeah, let us run back to the entrance. That's a clever trick there that I did, using the flashback to get past Steve. So if you want to get to that secret area, you might want to try that. And yeah, that does prove my hypothesis that flashbacks make you safe from enemies. So anyway, oh, another flashback.
These cells are meant to hold prisoners who are under treatment. The people you send for will end up here. Remember that the confinement itself works as a preamble to the torture, and you should pace yourself. Don't take anyone before they are ready.
Torture?
Understood.
Sounds from the torture chambers are shuttled in through those pipes in the ceiling. Manage your victims well, and let one prisoner's pain instill terror in his cellmate.
Oh wow, that is one sadistic ass fuck. So anyway, let's see. I didn't pick up a piece of.
Daniel, good to see you. Why me? I'm the next best thing. Alexander really liked that. None other than Johann Meyer. You never heard of Johann Meyer? My God, his brother is the greatest man in history, and you don't know him? Or is it the world who has forgotten him?
I don't know. Pretty sure the world doesn't remember it very well. We're gonna go to the transept first. It's the easier of the 2 areas. Enemy free, just the way we like it. We're gonna come back here later to use that meat. Can we do it now? Yeah, there's a Kank down here, but we don't need to go down there, so he's completely harmless to us. What we do is we dangle the meat on the rope here, lower it down, and let the Kank chomp on it. This might take some of our sanity. Just don't look at it. You probably shouldn't lose that much sanity. Alright, and when we pull it back up, if we've done it correctly, it should be just a bone. I'm trying to turn around. There we go. And this bone is what we really need. It's dripping with Kank saliva, which is actually the thing we were after. We don't need the meat for any purpose. With Grippa, we need the Kank stuff. So anyway, the transept is a safe, kind of cool looking area. You should be able to tell right away upon walking in that there are no enemies in here, because we'll see in a second. The place loads. Yeah, it's just a big open space. The game designers would have to be really big assholes to put any enemies in there.
How much more, Baron?
So basically,
how much more am I supposed to withstand?
This area will have 3 torture chambers, and the choir will have 3 torture chambers. Every torture chamber has an orb piece in it. Now, when you're in the torture chamber, you'll want to get in and get the fuck out of there, because They drain your sanity faster than pretty much anything, other than maybe looking at a monster generally. No, I don't want to use all my finger boxes. We're gonna hear some unsettling sounds. In every one of these rooms, you can activate the torture device too to get something like a memory capsule. Where's the orb piece in here? Tinder box. There's our orb piece. Okay, now we can get out, but let's look at the flashback. Yeah. The rapist hanged upside down, his tears soiled with blood and flooding from his belly. The saw between his legs had lodged itself in the hip and wouldn't move any further. The men stepped back and waited for the victim to drain. Oh boy. So presumably that's what that little sinkhole there is for. Are we at low sanity? We're not at the lowest sanity setting. But, yeah, there is another Alexander portrait in here. Upstairs, actually. We should have gone up here first. Let's do that now. There's something we need to get up here for Agrippa's sake. If you're not going for the Agrippa ending, you don't need to come back up here. Oh yeah, see, our sanity is low. So look how he looks. Ugh, it's crazy. I'm not sure if looking at the picture at low sanity makes you lose more sanity. I don't think it affects other paintings, though. Okay, so in here, there's a tinderbox. Piece of string, which is what we really need. Notes? Notes on torture. Oh boy, more reading. There are quite a few things to be said about torture. I had figured that the reaction I would get from the victims would be highly individual. Thankfully, this is not the case. The humans all have a very similar approach to dealing with physical pain and the terror of anticipation. I can't stress enough the importance of restraining the victims before proceeding. Even the most timid creature can break out in fits of violence where their strength exceeds their expected prowess. If proper care has been put into breaking the victim, this should not be a problem, but it will also hinder the effect I am after. The right steps to take are, therefore, to restrain while the victim is still dazed, proceed by presenting the form of torture you are about to apply, and then to continue with the actual act. The point of presentation is to infuse terror. The human mind is extremely efficient, as it will trigger itself into greater fear simply by imagining it. While applying pain, make sure to avoid massive damage, as it will prove more efficient if the process can be sustained. Also apply the pain in doses, if possible with breaks to let the body settle. If you are whipping or cutting the victim, strike once, wait for the pain to subdue, then strike again. As long as the body suffers, it will continue to produce the vitae and saturate the blood with its properties. Only with careful performance will the victim yield maximum effect. If the victim doesn't behave as expected, it is likely that all will be for naught. Before this happens, feed them the amnesia drink and try again later. Now this reveals two important things. One, why Alexander is kidnapping and torturing these people. He's trying to get vitae from them, like he was trying to get earlier with alchemy in the laboratory, and then later with animals in the study. And if you would notice the notes and the dates he put on them, they go in exactly that order. The laboratory had the earliest dates, the study had later dates, and these ones are the most recent, clearly happening right up until now. The memory capsule here. Is it you, my love, I miss the most, or is it perhaps myself? I know what I have become. I am not blind. I am a monster to them, a demonic sultan perched on a dark mountain top. Getting tongue twisted here. There is little I can do to redeem myself. The Black Eagle fears me, and after Napoleon's defeat, it is only a matter of time before they will demand my head on a platter. I must remove myself from this land. This time it must work. If I can't return home now, I shall perish. Yeah, a little Napoleon reference there. Not sure if he's... I'm not quite brushed up with my French history. Not sure if he's referring to Napoleon or Napoleon III. 1839. Would that have been Napoleon's initial defeat? I don't know. Enough about history crap. So anyway, we got the string. So here we can get the second... Wait, no, we're not using the string. We're combining it with this to get glass jar and a string. That's what we need a glass jar for. We're going to use it to get the second item we need for Agrippa. The third one we will find in the choir. So anyway, over here where there was the grating with the blood in it, we're going to come back here. We're going to use the glass jar on it. Oh, we need to open the hatch. And drop the jar down to get some blood. And that will increase our sanity a little bit. To slight headache.